Welcome back to Meticulous Mechanic. I've been doing a study on linear thermal expansion. I'm going to go through this little sheet here real quick and kind of explain what I came up with, because we were measuring those valves in the garage yesterday and it was only 50 degrees and then it got up to 60, and I had a feeler gauge that wouldn't go in, and then all of a sudden it would go on in, so that meant the gap was getting bigger. So I just dredged up some old math from 30 years ago to come up with this. I had the initial temperature in the garage at 50 degrees, the final temperature at 60. The change in the temperature was delta T, which is 60 minus 50 equals 10 degrees. The expansion coefficient of steel was 7.2 times 10 to the negative sixth. If you write that out, that's 0.00000072. That's 72 with 5 zeros in front of it. So times 10 degrees gives you this 0.00072. So I said, say the valve stem is 3 inches long. Then I ran through some scenarios here with a 10-degree change, a 30, a 155, and a 185. So with that 10-degree change in the garage, if you run through this math here, I only got 2 10,000ths of an inch, which isn't even a thousandths. And then you run up, and finally you get with a 155-degree change, if the motor is running at 190 and it was 35 degrees initially, say you're measuring the valves at 35, that got you up to 3 thousandths, which is getting close to a reasonable number. So then I thought, well, I better figure out the units on this equation. Generally, like if you can do a factor label method on your math, you can come up with better results. So here's the official equation. Delta L, which was the change in length, equals alpha, the coefficient of linear expansion, times L0, which is the initial length, times the change in temperature. And so I drew a little valve here. I assumed it was 3 inches. I haven't looked that up, but just for this scenario, we'll just go with that. So here's L0, that's the initial length of the valve, and then this little bit would be how much it expanded due to the temperature change. So delta L is how much bigger it gets. So I just did one little scenario where I said, over here, I said it was, the fan turns on at 220 and it's 20 degrees outside. So, excuse me, 220 minus 20 is 200. So I took that coefficient, expansion coefficient of steel, 7.2 times 10 to the negative 6 times a 3-inch initial length times 200 degrees, gave me 0.004, which was a reasonable number considering some of those clearances were in a 4 thousandths range. If anybody knows any more information about this subject, please leave it in the comments. And I would imagine this 3-inch valve stem length varies on different motorcycles. So talk soon.